Kara, and today I'm going to talk to you about my works in progress and my finished objects of the week. So, very productive week for me. I'm mostly unpacked from college. I'm not really unpacked, I'm just unpacked enough where I'm just comfortable leaving it as it is. And I have a bunch of projects for you that I'm working on because I'm in the process of filming a bunch of projects at once. I think my new policy is that I'm going to try to film a tutorial for every pattern that I release. So I'll knit the first sample, take pictures in it, write the pattern, and then for my second one, I'm going to try to film all the steps so that there's an extra tutorial for the people that buy my pattern and also people that are just interested in how you knit these projects. And so I have a few projects like that, and it's a bit strange for me because when I'm super interested in a project, I will work on it and nothing else. So I'll go from start to finish all in one go, but I'm not letting myself do that. And it's kind of tricky because I really do want to do that, but I'm not letting myself do that because I like to film with natural lighting and I do a lot of knitting at night. So yeah, but very productive morning for me. I finished this Bennie cardigan. I finally added the buttons here, little heart buttons. I chose hot pink. And I finished another Bennie cardigan as well, and I added in buttons for that, but I will show you that, and let's just get into it. The first project I have for you here is a Bennie top, and I'm really happy with how this turned out because I was just on a walk and I was just thinking about tops that I wanted to make, and I was like, well, why don't I make a Bennie top? Because I really love the kind of halter, or I don't know what you consider this neckline, but I really like this type of tank top where it's just it's obviously sleeveless, but it's pretty high necked. This is made with Qing fiber, melted baby Suri, and illusion. It's held double, and I've had this yarn in my stash for a really long time because it was just so colorful. I didn't really know what to do with it, but I knit with it, I knit a tiny little swatch with it a few months ago, and I was like, ooh, this will look really good with white. So I chose to make it a white collar with wool in the Gang Alpahcino Merino, and it really gives it that nice contrast edge. This turned out a little bit wider than I want the pattern to actually be. I still really like this tank. I was wearing it all yesterday, and I've just adjusted the pattern a bit, and I've already started a second one, which I will show you, but really happy with how this fits me. And I think this is a really exciting pattern because it's knit flat and a little bit in the round. And yeah, I've been thinking about this type of top for a long time, so I'm glad I finally did it. Next up, I have this V-neck vest, and as I was knitting this, my aunt, my mom were all like, this is really big, who is this for? And I was like, it's for me, it's an oversized vest. And I just had this idea that I wanted to use up kind of my scrap yarn because I've been working a lot with Sahara Dust and Eucalyptus Green, and these are both wool in the Gang Alpahcino Merino. And so I had a bunch of scraps and odd bits of this yarn hanging around, so I decided to make a striped V-neck. And I decided to use the Ivory White as the contrast for the ribbing and just the ribbing. It's super oversized. I really like it because I've been really into deep V's recently. I haven't really fully perfected the V-neck here, but I think that's mostly because my ribbing's not necessarily the neatest. But I love how this fits. I envisioned myself wearing this with leather pants, which isn't obviously the best for the summer, but this is gonna be a great fall outfit. So I am considering bringing this to New York, or I could just make another one, but I'm still thinking about names for this pattern because it's going to be part of my summer drop part 2. So if you have any names that you can think of, let me know. And this is a medium, and it's meant to be super oversized. And I just really like the colors and the stripes. Next up, I have this V-neck sweater here, and you can't tell that it's a V-neck because it's only the bottom. So this is a bottom-up sweater, and it's the same problem with the vest where I don't have a name for it, but it's gonna have a similar fit just with sleeves. And so it's gonna be a super deep V, and I, for the longest time, was really scared of making V-neck items or projects. I'm not really sure why. I think it's because the ribbing for the V-neck always kind of tripped me up, but I'm getting better at it. I'm gonna keep on practicing and keep on making all these V-necks. And it's made in Cascade Yarns 128 Superwash, and I think Bright Cobalt. And it's plied. I really like it. They send it to me just to try out and maybe write a few patterns. So I'm testing it out here. It is a little bit thinner than the Alpahcino Merino that I'm used to working with, but I think that's okay because unlike the Malabrigo Mecca, I think I talked about that last week, it doesn't feel thinner, although I think that it's technically around the same like gauge. Oh, hi Ollie. So they're both like 100 grams for 120 meters, but the Superwash has more body to it, so it doesn't come out that much thinner than the Alpahcino Merino, but it does make it a little bit more lightweight, and I just think it's knitting up really pretty. Now I have a classic summer top for you. It is the back and forth top by me, and I made this because I was filming a tutorial and I realized I didn't have any in chartreuse. So this is Malabrigo Rasta Apple Green, my favorite color, and oh god, I forgot how nice these are to make. Like, they're backless, they whip up really quickly, they're really comfortable to wear, and I think my chains are getting a little bit better than they used to be because I am practicing crochet a little bit, so my tension's getting a little more consistent. I'm not any good at crocheting yet, but it's exciting. And I am filming a tutorial for this one, and I've gotten all the filming done, I just have to do the editing. But I just really love this color, and I'm really excited to wear this more this summer because I have a bunch of green pants, and I really love wearing back and forth tops, so it's like fun pants, and I have a ton of fun pants to wear them with. Yeah. Next, I have another teeny top made in Malabrigo Rasta, this time in lettuce. And it seems like I'm making a lot, but it's because everything I make is small and cropped, and like, I mean, the last two are just made of super chunky yarn, so of course it's gonna whip up in like an hour. But I made this to film a tutorial, and I actually really love this top. Like, I was just wearing it to lounge around, and I have a bunch of this lettuce yarn left over, so I'm thinking I'm gonna make the matching cardigan just like in preparation for fall. Although again, I am moving to New York, so I don't know if I can bring this or if I can fit this into my suitcase, because I can always make another one. So maybe I'll just make the set and sell it, but I just really love the color. I posted this on my reels recently. I was like, it's called lettuce, but I don't think I've ever seen lettuce this color. So I've been advised that it's like fern or moss or pickle, and I honestly think it's kind of more of a pickle more than any other color. But let me know what you think or if you disagree. Some people have given me very specific like green colors, and I thought I was pretty good at naming like the greens, like chartreuse, like Eucalyptus Green, sage, like all those types. But it turns out I'm very limited in how many green color names I know, so I am expanding my vocabulary with that. Now I have a Bennie sweater, and this one's made in Qing Fibre, melted baby Suri, held double in the colorway Oceanid. And amazingly, this is the first time that I'd ever made a Bennie sweater with the melted baby Suri. I don't know why, because I've been obsessed with making Bennie sweaters, and I've been obsessed with melted baby Suri. But this is finally just one that I made, and I made it in a small, and I made it long sleeve because it's been a while since I made one of these in a long sleeve. And I really love the pastel rainbow vibe going on. It's super comfortable to wear. It's not the best necessarily for summer, but I was just really excited to work with this yarn finally because it has been in my stash for a while, and like, I hunted this colorway down. Like, I was looking through all these stores in Canada, and I finally found it, and then I ordered some and got it shipped to my dorm. But this was like back in January, and I was just like scared to use it. I had them like skeined up and like wound into skeins for months, and I just hadn't used them. So my goal this summer is to kind of get through my stash of melted baby Suri because I love working with it, and I don't know why I'm so scared to use it because they're so pretty and they're so nice to work with. And the projects that I make just kind of eat through that yarn because I hold them double usually, just because when I work with hand-dyed yarn, I find it really nice to hold it double because it kind of softens those color changes. Because for a long time, I was only working with like solid colored yarns, which is fine. I was just trying to expand my repertoire. And that's how I got into using hand-dyed yarn more, is holding it double. But yeah, very happy with how this turned out. I usually make an extra small for myself, but I decided to make a small just to try it out. And I'm pretty happy with how it fits me too. Yeah, it's just not as cropped as I would normally wear it, but I wear things super cropped. Next up, I have a Bennie cardigan that I made, and I made this one in a short sleeve. And I made it with this Olivia Yarn Studio mixed yarn in pink. and it took about 4 skeins. The yardage on that yarn is a little bit strange. I don't really know what it is. I made this one a little bit oversized for me. It's just a medium, but it's super cute. I really like how this yarn knits up. Like, there's all sorts of different types of yarns in there. So it has like a slight fuzz, it has a slight sheen. I gave it these cute little flower buttons, and I'm kind of kicking myself because I had wished that I had actually used the yellow ones instead of like the pink ones, but it is what it is. You live and you learn. And I really want to wear this with like a pink summer dress. But I don't own a pink summer dress, I think, unless I do and I just can't remember it, or I packed it somewhere. But I'm just gonna go dig through my closet, or maybe even go thrifting to see if I can find a dress that will match this cardigan. The next finished object that I have for you is this Bennie cardigan that I'm wearing. And if I'm being completely honest with you, I finished this morning because I knew I was gonna film this video, and I decided to go with the hot pink buttons, and I'm very happy that I did. And this video, or knowing that I'm gonna film these videos, keeps me super accountable, because I promise you I'm probably not normally this productive, but knowing that I was gonna film this video made it so that like, oh, I should finish this, or like, oh, like I said I was gonna work on it this week, so I did. But there are at least 2 whips that I did not make as much progress on as I had hoped I would. It's the Mohair Stripe Me Down, the other Stripe Me Down, and the knit dress that I'm working on. And I just kind of got distracted with a bunch of other projects because I was excited. And that's what happens with me, is that I work on something and I get distracted by another idea that I have. And so that other project just gets kind of left behind for months, maybe. It's not gonna be months for those 3, but it might be a few more weeks. But anyways, I'm really happy with how this cardigan turned out. And basically I'm also knitting I knit 2 of these because I was anticipating the pattern drop this week. So the Bennie cardigan's coming out, and I'm in the midst of filming a tutorial as well, so that I can go with the pattern release. But this is in Wool and the Gang Take Care Mohair and Hot Punk Pink. And I am pretty happy with this colorway. I was talking about last week how it's not as saturated as the Hot Punk Pink of like crazy sexy wool, but it is still a really lovely mohair, and I really like the way it fits me. I'm currently wearing it with pink pants, and I also envisioned it with like long skirts, but it felt more of like a pants vibe today, so. The next project I have for you is the Drop It Like It's Hot cardigan, and I finished it, and I'm super happy with how it turned out. Whoops. It took about 7 skeins, I think. I have to double check on that because I was working double, so I have 2 skeins left over, and I just have to weigh it to see if it adds up to 1 skein left or like half a skein left. And I made it in a medium, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I really love this yarn, Sandnes Yarn Kos in, I think, Pistachio. And it's super soft and it's kind of lightweight. And I'm trying to figure out if I have enough yarn left over to make a Drop It Like It's Hot top to go with it, because I love making the sets, the top and the cardigan. And the top would be teeny because I like all my tops really small. But I always kind of get stressed if I don't have enough yarn for a top, or even just like anything. And if I'm stressed about how much yarn I have, or if I might play yarn chicken, it's pretty likely that I might not make that project for a while. But it wouldn't take long to figure out if I have enough yarn or not. I'm just procrastinating and working on other projects and like prepping a pattern drop or pattern testing call, so it's gonna happen. It just might take some time. Now my other whip is this second Bennie top that I am making, and I'm making it so that it's going to be a set with a Bennie cardigan, because I have this vision, and I don't know if it's gonna work as well, because I'm not sure if the fit of the Bennie cardigan will do justice to the Bennie top, because the Bennie top I think is really nice because it's slightly in. It's kind of like a halter. It's not a halter. I don't know what these types of tanks are called. So I'm not sure if the Bennie cardigan will actually show off that like cut of the tank that well, but I have a vision and I calculated it, and I should have just enough yarn to do both. I might make the Bennie top a little bit cropped, but when do I not wear a cropped top? And it's made in Qing Fibre, melted baby Suri, of course. And this is in the colorway Cactus. And I've also had this in my stash for a really long time. Not as long as the other melted baby Suri that I worked with this week, but for quite some time. And it's actually really exciting because I think I did this unintentionally where it kind of matches my nails. And again, I'm super excited with how my nails turned out this week, and I'm already kind of ideating like different nail art ideas that I have. But excited for this one. I'm working on a tutorial knitting this top itself. So the tutorial itself probably won't come out until the pattern's out, which I'm hoping for like mid to late July, but excited for this set and hopefully I have enough yarn. I might have to play some yarn chicken, but what else is new? And finally, this is the most exciting, I think. I made my first crochet top. And it's a little janky, I know. I can see that on camera. The holes are a little inconsistent. I believe I made this in triple crochet, triple stitch, double, half double. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know all the terminology. It's very confusing because the video that I watched to learn how to crochet kept on giving both the UK and the US terms, so I couldn't keep them straight in my head. I know that one is like one stitch off from the other. And this top, it's a little janky. Like the holes are kind of big so that you can't really wear this without wearing like something underneath. It's made out of one skein of yarn that I had, and it's Debbie Bliss Dulcie. And so it's 50% cotton and like 50% acrylic. So it does have a little bit more stretch than normal cotton. So that's why I liked working with it, because I normally don't like working with cotton because it is so unforgiving, strict, doesn't stretch that much. And so it's a kind of an odd length. And I'll be honest, these straps themselves are different lengths from one another because I just kind of eyeballed it and I was running out of yarn. But I really like how it fits me. And I'm pretty excited to keep on crocheting. I kind of got distracted by a bunch of my other knits this week, but I'm planning to finish another top in crochet and keep on practicing and just getting used to the motion and learning how to identify stitches. But like, say right now, I don't know how to identify or count rows, and it's kind of tricky for me to count stitches themselves or just like see if they're uneven or like what it should look like, because there's so many different types of yarns that I've seen with crochet. But I'm really excited, and I'm hoping by, this is like a random date that I'm pulling out of my head, like by mid-July, I'm able to follow a crochet pattern. I'm gonna keep on practicing my tension and working on different tops and different yarns and stuff, but like, I don't even know what tension should look like yet. And fortunately for me, like I know a lot about yarn and tension and like needle size because of knitting, but I don't know what anything else is with crochet. Like I don't know what good crochet looks like. I don't know what bad crochet looks like. It didn't even occur to me that like knitting with a 5mm, or sorry, crocheting with a 5mm needle would give me holes this big so that I can't really even wear the top. But it's fun. I like this color. I have a bunch of cotton somewhere that I can use. I might make it something rainbow. I might make a bag. I don't know, the possibilities are endless. And yeah, this is my first crochet top. And that's all I have for you today. I know that was kind of a lot. It's not my typical week's knitting, but maybe it is. I'm a pretty fast knitter, and now I have nothing but time and shows to watch. Like, I watched the entire season 3 of Umbrella Academy in one day, and I love that show. I think that soundtrack is amazing. But hopefully I'll have some more for you to see next week, and hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and see ya.